Hey everyone, welcome back to Can't Teach Size. I'm Liz, this is Brady, and welcome back to episode number 4.
Hell yeah.
I hope everyone's having a good week so far. It's the real start to the NHL this week. I know we had the global series. It started a week ago, a week and a bit ago.
It
I
was
don't
like
know, I wasn't
Friday and
paying
Saturday,
attention.
but
Something like that, yeah, but I
but
don't
yeah,
know.
actual season has started, and the first Sunday of the of the NHL season, and there's 0 games today, which sucks. I woke up
There
today
was
and I was
so many yesterday.
I could not believe it. I was in one of my fantasy league group chats. Someone was joking, being like, I went to go pick up guys to try and make a comeback tomorrow, and there's no fucking games tomorrow. And I was like, wait, what? No, absolutely no way. And so I like, obviously, immediately I'm like, oh, well, I guess I lost this matchup. I won my other ones, but yeah, that sucks.
I love spending my Sunday having sports in the background. And today, after I watched the Miami Dolphins get shit kicked, there was no hockey to watch. I was like, now I have to watch two actual good football teams. I watched the Bills and the Chiefs game. And I was like, oh, this is good. But it's like, I don't know, man. I just feel like, I don't know if I'm reading into it too much, but it feels like they're just conceding to football. They're just like,
Yeah,
we suck. No one's going to watch us. Our league is poverty. We're just not going to schedule anything on a Sunday. Like, I don't
it's
know,
like,
man. Like, give your fans the benefit of the doubt. Like, I definitely would have watched a hockey game,
oh,
any hockey game
absolutely.
over any football game other than the Dolphins game this
I'm
evening and this afternoon.
I wish I could commit to football and like football more, but I just find like unless it's the Bombers and I'm watching live, and it's just I don't know. For some reason I can't get into it again. I feel like I used to like it when I was younger, and then for like a couple years everyone just passed me by, and now I know like some guys in the NFL, but it's like I don't know. I maybe I just need to dive headfirst into it again, and but
It's so bad for like a barriers of entry sport because it's so much almost worse than hockey with like, what do you mean you don't know your fourth string cornerback like guy? Well, what the fuck? Like, it's not great
there's
for
just
like
so many
accessibility.
players. There's so many
Yeah.
players.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. But I find it super entertaining and stuff. But it's like, I don't know, like Sunday is football day. I get that, like that's the thing. But like you're not the only hockey fan in the world that doesn't really care about football. Like you'd like to have something to, watch on the weekend.
Absolutely, yeah. It's insane to me. Like I feel like the NHL schedule makers were better last year than prior. Like I feel like I remember like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, when it would be like every Saturday night would have like you know 2 games at 4 o'clock, and then like 10 games starting at 7. Like at all at the same time. I feel like last season they were like they started actually like staggering
Staggering
the
a little bit,
starts.
yeah.
But I feel like this year there hasn't been staggered starts too much. I mean, I guess there was a little bit on Saturday, but like still, why do you have like 14 games and then nothing the next day? How is it that like the Jets have played 1 game and their first game was against the Rangers, who were playing their third game on a back to
I know.
back? Like
It's
what?
so weird. And I also like I used to love love Saturday nights because it was like first you'd have an Eastern market game at like, yeah, like 4 o'clock, and then
Mhm.
you'd have the Jets game at 7 o'clock, and then you'd have a Western game at like 9:30 or ten
Yeah.
o'clock, and it was great. Like that was good. And it's like, yeah, I feel like weekends are for sports watching. Like weekends, like there's a reason that they don't play at 3 p.m. on a
Yeah.
Wednesday. It's because you want people to be able to watch, and the weekends are when people can watch. And I just feel like to start off the season, yeah, like here we are, like a lot of teams have like they're like 3 4 games in. The Jets have played 1 game and there's nothing going on today. I'm like, this sucks.
Mhm.
Also, the schedule, I was just like looking at it, it's so weird. Like we play New York, the Islanders, like in a back to back randomly in February, like a home and home. Like I'm like, huh?
A home and home, like one here, one there. Like
Yeah.
why? What? What?
It's
What's
so weird.
that's like I get doing that
There
with
might be
like
like one game in the middle or something, but it's like they're back. I'm pretty sure they're like back to back within like 3 days of each other.
I get doing that for like Minnesota or like Calgary or
Totally.
something, but like
The
that's
Islanders?
so odd. That feels like they were like,
What?
oh god, we got to get the other game and we forgot. Just
Right.
put that right after. Just do it again. But I don't know.
No,
Whatever.
it's super strange. And I also feel like we don't play Minnesota until like end of December or something like that either. Like it's just like some weird stuff. I
I
don't know.
I
Maybe
can't
I'm making that up,
I
but
can't remember. I feel like I need to take a look at the actual Jets schedule, but I
yeah,
usually just
it'll be
go
what it'll be.
when's the next game, and then yeah. But
tomorrow, I think.
I
I don't know.
think.
We'll see. But it is too bad that there's nothing going on today, but things have gotten started, so we thought we'd chat a little bit about kind of some of the storylines from earlier in the week. But while we're talking about the Islanders,
Oh no.
um,
I know what you're
what the
gonna
hell
bring
is
up.
that? Okay, so for those of you who might not have seen this, there's this video going around on Twitter and probably every social media app that talks about sports. And okay, before we actually tell you what it is, Brady, bit or not a bit?
Oh, like fake
Do
or
you think it
real?
was legit or
That
yeah?
I don't see. There was no like I if there was some sort of like person involved who was like a YouTuber or something that came out, or like or if they were some sort of person that was trying to do something for clout, or like if I
We
don't
saw like an aftermath about the
or like some
person
sort
or
of like the
something.
guy
Yeah.
was wearing like Advil on his back or something stupid like that, where it's like an ad or something. But like it seems it looks real the way the guy sits down. So okay, well basically,
Let's talk about it.
list. Do you want to explain what happened?
There was just a really bad proposal at a hockey game. Like I can't even get into the details, but it was so cringe, and I hate using that word because the word itself is cringe, but this was like the epitome of that, right? Like it was so awkward and the girl was so embarrassed and she just like
Okay,
left.
I'll give you a play by play. I watched it,
Okay.
and I remember I can picture it in my brain right exactly what happens. So the guy gets up, takes his shirt off, and it says on his chest, "Say yes, yes, yes," because that's like the Isles, like when they score a goal at the end, they go yes, 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 or whatever. So it said just say yes, yes, yes on it, and he gets down on one knee in the aisle, proposes to her, and she grabs his hand and is like looking at him like, are you seriously doing this right now? And like you can see like everyone's just like saying, oh, you're like, yo, say yes, and this and that. And she like leans in and you can see that she's like whispering into his ear or something, and then she just gets up and like walks away and leaves the scene, and everyone's just like, no, no. And my by far my absolute favorite part of it, the guy just sits down, takes a chug of his beer, just takes it back and just goes, well,
Like
what else?
women, she needs a moment.
He doesn't even
Like, what else can you do?
he doesn't run after her or anything. Like he just sits down and goes, well, I gotta watch the end of the game, finish this beer, you know.
And Sorokin's putting up like the highest goals saved above expected in the league right now. Gotta watch the rest of
Got
that performance. Come on.
absolutely gotta watch Lane Lambert, how he changes this team this year. Wow,
How
insane.
he's X spot on the handsomest coaches list.
Oh yeah.
No, I'm inclined to believe it was not a bit because I feel like anyone who's insane enough to propose at a sports game is insane enough to do it like that.
And
And also insane enough to not have a good enough read on the relationship to understand that she would not say yes in that context or at all.
how do you do that without with like how do you not know before that? How do you like usually let's be honest here. Most proposals, you test the waters before you propose to someone. Even if you're not
Oh
doing it in
God,
front of
yeah.
people at a hockey game or anything like that. Just in general, if you're proposing to someone, usually before then you've kind of talked about, would you want to get married at some point? Like
Yeah.
it's never a complete surprise to someone. And if it is a
No, it
complete
shouldn't
surprise,
be.
it's yeah, like I can't believe it. It's insane. Absolutely insane.
Worth mentioning. One of
Yeah.
the funniest things I've seen in quite some time.
Yeah, absolutely. I guess we should. You wanna move on to like Jets stuff? You want to talk a little
Yeah,
Jets
we'll
before?
touch on some Jets stuff before we jump into everything else. So, like we sort of alluded to earlier, the Jets have only played one game, and we're
Mhm.
not going to get into the specifics of that exact game and whatnot, because that's not what this show is for. I'm sure we've talked enough about it. However, Brady, I must ask: are the Jets a wagon?
Are the Jets away? Okay, I gotta say, I was at the game, and I will say, even though like I watched the game, and with an actual critical eye, you can definitely pick out some things that were not going as planned. Well, I guess we'll talk about the fact that the Jets didn't have their head coach. um,
Rip.
because he wasn't able to be there. But but I don't know. The vibes were just like immaculate. I wasn't even drinking, good old sober October, but like I was swept up in it. I was having fun. It was
Is
fan.
Scott Arniel a wagon?
Yo, does he have a wagon?
Hottest assistant coaches
Hottest,
list?
hell yeah.
No, but yeah, it seemed like a ton of fun that game. Like, and like I wasn't able to watch most of it, caught home, caught the end of it. Looked like it was a lot of fun. Like my parents had a great time. They were using our season seats for that one. Like everyone just seemed really into it. It looked fun. Like it looked good,
The vibes were immaculate. Everyone was booing Truba all the time. Truba takes like a bad penalty within the last like 5 minutes of the game, and then the Jets score like one of the grossest power play goals I've seen in a while. Just like a no
Oh
look
my
pass
God.
across the slot from PLD. Mark Scheifele has officially started his hero arc. Like he's
It's
back.
coming. It's coming. That's gonna be the prediction I'm most proud about is getting that one. But also that pass from Pierre-Luc Dubois. I couldn't believe it. That whole sequence was so like mouth-wateringly beautiful. I was like, oh my God. It was just so funny. There was a lot of Truba power play. Like I wouldn't boo Truba, I don't think if I was there. However, just what you were saying about like, the vibes, like Jets games have been kind of like poo-poo. Like it's just you're not always having a ton of fun. But like when the whole crowd is like into something, it's fun. So
Oh
like,
yeah.
does Truba deserve that? I don't know. Who cares? But like it's fun. Like it's good. Like, you gotta have your guy.
Yeah, absolutely. And like, but like we've all been to Jets games. Like Jets fans like to get rowdy, like to have fun, and like I remember games where like fans would be booing like PK Subban, being booing. It's normal to boo like the best players on other teams, but then especially if there's a guy who like left your team. I like again. I think not enough fans understand the complexity of that situation. The fact that like
Yeah.
his girlfriend, wife, or I think it was soon to be wife, fiance at the time, was a nurse and could only practice in the States, and so like it only made like he couldn't stay here long term. But like that doesn't matter when you're in an arena of 15,000 people and you're looking at a guy
No,
with a
totally.
captain patch on his New York Rangers
Yeah.
sweater and going, this guy left us.
No,
Um,
totally. I'm a big fan of player booing. Like I like it. Like
yeah,
that was like there were some Toronto fans who were getting so pissed. They're like, "Oh, so we're booing Matthews now?" I'm like, "Yeah."
it was
Like
it was in in Montreal, and
like
gives me,
duh.
oh, so we're just booing Matthews for no reason now. It's like, what do you expect Montreal fans to do? Like that's you're literally your rival's best player. You're obviously supposed to boo him. Like
No, exactly.
it's
Maybe they just don't understand because Montreal doesn't have a best player, but
oh, but like it's like a sign of respect almost. Like honestly,
no,
it's
literally game
it,
recognized game. Like
exactly,
yeah,
yeah.
but
Um,
going on to that Trouba power play, the Shifley goal. Best players have goal songs now. I
yo,
love it. I love game or goal songs. I think they're so fun. I love baseball walk-up songs. I think it's fun. It's personalized. It's great. Like especially if you have, good songs for your good players that you get fired up when you hear them and things like that. I love it. I think it's so fun. You were there. How did it go?
it was good. I mean, I like Shifley scored I think twice in the game, and so like I gotta say Shifley's song kind of poo
Hey,
poo. Not
hey,
it's
hey.
listen. It's just not it for it's the greatest show by the Greatest Showman, right? Or
Yeah, from the soundtrack. Yeah,
so it's
that's Hugh
it's just
Jackman.
it's just not it like so basically the like celebrate song plays for like a little bit and then it goes into like the player's song, and so I don't know. It just the vibe it didn't fit well.
Yeah.
It wasn't that like hype like I want to celebrate and lose my mind kind of song. Whereas like
No,
I
and I could see that. Like the concept is cool. Like the fact that it's called The Greatest Show is sick, but I just feel like
yeah
it's not necessarily the most like crowd hype up song. And you even said it was a part like you couldn't even like really sing along to either, right?
yeah
That's like
I
kind of shitty.
yeah it was fine. Like I get it if we'll probably hear it a bunch if it's Shifley's goal song. But like, there's some other ones on the list here that like I want to see Adam Lowry score a lot this season. I want to hear Darude Sandstorm so much. Like that is such an iconic and like kind of funny, kind of memey type pick. Like that's
Yeah.
I game recognized game. That's a good pick. I got to root for. I mean, obviously we root for every Jets player, but like Shout out Adam Lowry. That's definitely, looking at the list here, like one of the ones that stick out to me as both funny and good.
I've got to say, I love David Gustafson's "Emergency" by Iconopop is so funny. Like, it's such a hype song,
Which
and it's like
I can't remember
Iconopop.
that.
Like, you know what you
I
talk about? I'll pull up the song and I'm
Oh
gonna play
no.
it. Are we gonna get copyrighted on our show
No,
here?
I think if you play like a couple seconds clip while we're talking over top of it, I think we should be fine. But
Here, I'll play it for you.
oh, okay, cool. Cut it. We can't get copyrighted.
It's like,
Okay,
this
yeah,
is
it's
emergency, woo!
oh, okay. I
yeah.
actually, okay, sorry, I do actually know that song. Yeah, good song,
It
good
opened
pick.
for One Direction in 2015, so come on, you gotta good tune. That's one of the good ones. I think that one's like gonna be like a fun like crowd one, and I gotta
Yeah,
say the one that I think is gonna be the best,
say it.
like as far as like I feel like you might know what I'm gonna say because no one else will agree with me just because I have a terrible taste in music. Kyle Connors, "One Too Many"
Oh,
by Luke Combs and Brooks and Dunn. Hilarious. The words, I'm sure it's gonna play. I didn't hear it, but it's "There's no stopping me once I get going." Hilarious. It's great, and it's just like it's a great tune. I think that's hilarious.
oh,
And unfortunately, my other favorite is Logan Stanley's.
I was gonna say Logan Stanley does get some points here, having Still Dre as your song. Like that's a good one. I
You
want to
won't
see
hear it once, but
maybe once. It depends. Will Carey Price be
twice.
playing?
Is Carey Price.
Yeah. Yeah, but for real though, hopefully Carey Price can come back. He's a great guy.
Hopefully
It
Logan
was it
Stanley can
was
score 2 goals on him. That'd be great too.
it was nice to see the Montreal kind of like fans all giving him a good salute in the pre-game
Yeah.
intros. But I'm sorry, I'm not done with this list yet. I just wanted to mention
No,
that
absolutely not. Yeah.
Nate Schmidt Mambo Number 5, banger, absolute
Okay,
banger.
but is it a good like goal song? Like I feel like again, it's not super like.
Come on, a little bit of money. Like, come on, like that will be
I guess if you
so
play
hype.
that part, I hope they don't play the beginning of the duh.
No.
Yeah.
Because I feel like the celebrate part's like the intro to it, and then like moves in.
Yeah.
Other ones I feel like I need to mention. This Is Why I'm Hot, Brendan Dillon, good one.
Tune, yeah.
Okay, Blake Wheeler, Hypnotize. Oh, like if it goes, the celebrate part, and then just goes into immediately Biggie Smalls going, if like, I don't want to keep going. That was embarrassing. I'm gonna maybe we'll cut that out.
No, honestly, okay, and I think the thing is too, like personally, I have a really bad taste in music. This is something I'm very, very open about. Like I listen to like musical soundtracks, One Direction and country music. Like that's and like like the Miami Boys Choir that was trending on TikTok for a very
you're
niche
exactly
group. I know like all of the words to you yeah.
You're the exact person that listens to the Glee versions of songs, aren't you?
Oh God, no! I have Glee was my like number 4 artist on 2021 Spotify Wrapped. 2021.
No,
so I refuse to share it with anyone. So anyways, but that being said, like I feel like the kind of music that I like, I feel like your goal song should be something that everyone can get into. Like Sam Gagne having Mr. Brightside, brilliant,
banger.
amazing. The crowd's gonna get so into that.
The crowd did get so into that when he's.
I believe it.
Like it was. Oh, so incredible. Like I can't say. I was gonna say if we have to mention Gagne's goal song because Mr. Brightside is like the no matter where you are, that song comes on and everyone just starts singing it. Like, oh, so good.
Absolutely. And it's like that's the kind of song that should be with the guys like Sam Gagne who aren't going to score more than like 15 goals this year, right? Like if you have like Kyle Connors, like this One Too Many song, it's a popular country song, but not everyone's going to know it. But if your guy's going to score like 30 goals at home this summer or this year, I'm booking it. But like people are gonna get to know it and stuff like that, but it's like not. But if it's like Logan Stanley, for example, if his song was some weird niche, like Ville Heinola's song, probably would have been a song by that weird Finnish rap group that he loves talking about all the time. JVG, that's what they're called.
That's why he was. That's why he was sent down.
Yeah, mm-hmm. But it's like no, it's like Ville Heinola is gonna score like 6 goals this year at the absolute most. So it's like if you play a song that no one knows, people are gonna be like, okay, but like Sam Gagne, it's like he scored, and then now we're playing Mr. Brightside. Like that's great. That's
everyone
exciting.
just loses their mind.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. So
that's what you want to see when like a fourth line guy scores. Also, just another thing, the Jets' fourth line. Oh, the Jets' bottom 6.
Wagon.
The Jets' bottom 6 is so like actually so good. I don't know. The Jets like. I have some questions about the top 2 lines, mainly just like usage. I personally think it would be good to switch like Perfetti and one of the scoring wingers on the top line.
That
Um,
second line has no finishing.
exactly, yeah. And so I don't know, but that's just me. We don't have to get into that too much. But last few things on, unless do you have anything else you want to say about the list?
No, it's fun. The concept of it is fun. I love it.
Yeah.
I hope that we can have like, the Kyle Connors and Cole Perfetti's like keep their songs forever and people just, associate with them and it's like the most fun. So
What would your goal song be?
Lion by the Miami Boys Choir. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Someone put that on Twitter and I got like a lot of likes from like people that I like are Jets people. And I was like, do you guys understand the niche of this tweet? I was like, either they do and I'm impressed or they don't and they just think I'm a weirdo. But either way, if I really had to think about it though,
We can sit on this and come back to it if we want, because I'm trying to think of it now. I asked the question and then went, oh, if she asks me, I will not know.
yeah, no, like I feel like my first like initial thoughts are like Your Love by the Outfield would be so fun. Um, and as strange as this is, what's it called? What's Up by Four Non Blondes would be really funny, I think. Um,
Hmm.
Armageddon by Prism, just because I love that song,
True.
or like a One Direction song in any capacity, I think would be
That's fair.
that would.
I think I
I have to
think
like actually think about it
yeah, I'm
though.
gonna actually think about it. Maybe we can stay tuned to the end. Maybe we'll mention
Yeah,
it
we'll
right
think
before
on
the
it.
end of the
We'll
show.
think on it.
But I think that
Less good positive news. Um,
mine would probably be a Kanye song, unfortunately. But I feel like he's got enough
oh,
songs that are hype that would be fun. But it would need to be the right song. Again, I wouldn't just choose that because. But unfortunately, I am a Kanye fan, so.
I feel
Uh,
like we would have to read the room on that one,
yeah,
because
yeah, not yeah, not right now. But unfortunately,
yeah,
yeah. Anyways,
yeah.
not to ruin our show or anything, but last thing of Jets stuff. We have to mention a shout out to Jonathan Kovacevic, who obviously got claimed on waivers, but also got claimed on waivers by the Canadians. Played in their first. Have they played 2 games? 1 game? I don't
Three.
know.
They're
3.
1-2-1. They definitely beat Toronto. I know
I
that.
know
Saw
they
that.
definitely beat Toronto. We can get into that after, but regardless, what am I trying to say? Jesus. Uh,
Jonathan Kovacevic, R.I.P.
oh, shout out to him. He played in their top 6 and like played like almost 20 minutes a night in the first game. I didn't check to see how much he played in the
When
other
you say
games.
their top six, do you mean like he just made the
Like he
roster, or are
like
you
he
saying
like he's
it's like
playing
top
he's
four?
playing on sorry he's playing on the roster. Sorry, my bad.
Okay, okay, I
Yes,
get it.
yes,
Yeah.
I did mean top 6, but he is playing and actually being used in a good role and seems to be actually effective. He was really good. I watched the Leafs Habs game and he seemed like he was playing great. So sucks as a Jets fan to see that guy go, but also really happy to see he's getting an opportunity. He also had a pretty good little quote about the Jets. Um, do you have it there? I have it here if you want me to go into it.
Do you have it? Okay,
I
I
do,
don't have it
yeah.
exactly pulled up,
Um,
but I could find it pretty quickly.
so he's so he said this about the Jets. He goes, "I would be lying if I said I don't hold a grudge against Winnipeg. There are guys who believed in me there and were close to me. I want to prove them right and show others that they were wrong."
Okay,
What?
and so I tweeted about this, right? And I actually got a lot more flack for it than I thought I was going to. So my tweet, word for word, I said, "This is a bonkers quote. It's nuts what these guys will say about the Jets when they finally have the freedom to do so. Imagine how many other players currently on the team would say something like this if they could." And everyone in the replies is saying stuff like, come on, he didn't make the team. Obviously, he's gonna say that, whatever. And I disagree because there are so many guys who go on waivers and get claimed who don't say stuff like this. They're like,
Mhm.
oh, thankful for a new opportunity. But no, this is a very deliberate. People didn't believe in
Well,
me.
uh,
People
honestly,
don't usually say that.
well, he said like there are people who believe in me there, but also
But when he says prove the others wrong, he's
absolutely.
insinuating that
Well,
there's the other side of people who believe in me, which would be not believe in me.
okay, like here's the thing. I completely understand why he said this, and I think he's completely in the right for saying this. Because think about this: you're Jonathan Kovacevic. For so many years now, you've been waivers exempt, and that's been the reason you're told always why you get sent down. You get called up a couple times here and there whenever there's injuries. You play pretty well, show that you're capable at the NHL level, And then finally it comes to the season where you're waivers, not waivers exempt. And you're looking around. The Jets already have a pretty big backlog at D here. But looking at the guys, I don't think that they would want to lose me. I'm not waivers exempt, and I'll probably get claimed. And then you watch the Jets go and sign Kyle Capobianco at free agency, and you're like, who's this guy? Another guy to come in and be like a seventh or eighth D man. What isn't that my role? Isn't that what you've been telling me I was gonna be for so long now? I'm finally at the level where I'm gonna like come up and get an NHL paycheck and play on your team. And he's been putting in the work here. Like it I completely get where he's coming from. He, I think, deservedly so said this, because it is kind of bullshit that the Jets were just like, "LOL, we're gonna sign this other guy." Like, say Capobianco, is a PTO, and then they, come to camp and decide he's better than Kovacevic. They'd rather have him. Then that's like at least better. They officially chose this guy over you, rather than being like, I don't know, just actually going out and signing him is weird to me. Like,
Yeah, no, I agree. It feels like a little bit of a punch in the face because it's the guy is coming in to be in the same role as you. If they're signing the best left-handed defenseman in the league because he was on free agency, fair. But it's like basically the Jets were like, we don't believe in our fringe players. We need to bring in more so we have more to choose from
yeah,
because we don't have full confidence in what we got. And I don't agree with them. I feel like I have more confidence in our fringe players than I do in our best players.
that's
In
fair.
in the role.
Yeah,
I
I get
believe in
what you
our
mean.
fringe. Yeah, okay. I don't. Yeah, and then Heinola also had a quote
Oh yeah.
in similar light. Do you have that one
I
pulled
do,
up?
yeah. So, Ville Heinola on being sent down to the Manitoba Moose. I've been in the same spot for a couple years now, so it's definitely not fun. And it's accompanied by a photo of him crossing his arms and looking a little sad, and
I don't
definitely,
blame him. We don't need to hash this out again. What is he doing down there? What
yeah.
is he doing down there? It makes no sense. I'm
I think
done talking about it for the time being, but
the
fuck,
the the
fuck him.
final thing I'll say on it is on Bowness's quotes about him being like, he's an NHL D man. He's got NHL hands, NHL minds. He just needs to go down and get some more experience, which is hilarious for a guy who's been torturing the AHL for so
Where's
long.
the AJ quote? The AJ meme. You
The
know the meme
the
that he
the I'd
But
rather.
he's good. Why doesn't he have more
Oh
experience?
yeah. Yeah, it's true. I thought you were
No,
going.
it's
I thought you were going with the I'd rather play players who have higher potential and more risk. You know what I'm talking about, right?
yeah,
Where
of
it's
course
like,
I know what you're talking about. No, but I'm talking about something funny, not something legit. Come on,
sorry,
who do you think I
sorry,
am?
sorry, my bad.
No, but again, it's frustrating. I get it. And Mark Morrison had a great quote on him, and I fully agreed. It's giving Patrick Laine in the sense of like, hey, he's really good at some stuff. Why are you trying to turn him into a player that he's not? And I fully agree with that. Competitive advantage is what your players are good at, not making them better at the things that they're bad at.
And at some point you need to make mistakes at the level that you are trying to get better at, rather than just continuing to like punch down on AHL competition. Like, it's at some
Really,
point
Heinola
you
was
got
one
to
of the
make that
best
jump.
defensemen in the AHL last year. He had really positive expected goal shares in Corsi and literally everything. He was playing their highest minutes in their first power play. He was penalty killing. Like, what more does he have to do? Like, there's nothing more that he can do down there. He's just gonna rot there for the rest of the
He
year until
he
someone
he
gets hurt.
he needs to grow 7 inches.
Oh my fuck. I can't. I
Anyways,
can't do it.
we'll
Everyone knows. I don't know if you can tell by like my voice that I'm like not in the greatest mood today. Like it just wasn't a productive day, all this, and then we start talking about Billy Handel, and I'm like, I can't do it because I will start saying mean things about someone who doesn't deserve it, and that someone is 6'7" and is probably at the end of the day the namesake of this podcast. So I don't want to do that to him because he has a great goal song.
Yeah, that's true. Anyways, we can move on now. We don't need to keep rehashing this. What's up
Yeah, so
next
we talk
here?
about the Jets. Just let's talk about the league in general. Lots of stuff going on in the league right now and some stuff. Personally, I made a tweet about this today, I think probably from our account, and I love looking at the standings at the beginning of the year because things are so like San Jose Sharks being 0-4-0 when like the Jets have like one game played is so funny to me. I love that, but there are just a couple teams like in like the Eastern Conference, especially. I was looking at it, I was like, so are the Philadelphia Flyers and the Detroit Red Wings a wagon? Like they're both undefeated. Look
Are-
at them. Good for
Okay, I
them.
got his. Well, I mean, okay, two games to be fair for the Flyers. Um, I will say though, like you know, uh, I said this before, but I actually do. I really do like them bringing in Torts. I think that he's the right guy to try and get as much out of the Flyers as possible. I don't think that this will, I don't think that this is sustainable personally, but it is very funny to see them like way above like I don't know the Capitals for example, who are 1 and 2.
Exactly.
But
No, no, for sure. It's funny. I love looking at it. And I love looking at like um all kinds of different things at the beginning of the year with how weird they are. We'll talk about some team specific stuff and then we'll move into some player specific stuff, but for teams in general, like there are some things that, kind of do stand to reason, like Coyotes, Blue Jackets, Sharks, Senators, Habs, kind of like a bunch of those teams that aren't supposed to be good are not doing so hot, which is not surprising by any means.
mhm,
They won't go 0-82 by any means, but they have started off the season kind of at about where we'd expect them to.
yeah.
But then a couple of teams that are, way up, and it's like, good for them.
I I
Good for
have
them.
I have to mention this because I'm looking at the standings now. The Canucks got absolutely jobbed in their first game against the Oilers, and in the I don't know how I can't remember exactly how much this was a game changer in the second one, but in both of those games, um, the refs missed high sticking calls on the other team that were like super duper important. In the Oilers game, it was like they were up 3-0 against the Oilers. Also, Jack Campbell had a great start to his his Oilers tenure. In the first game, he let in like 3 goals within the first I don't know 10 minutes, I think it was, and then the second game he got pulled. Um, anyways, in that first game, Quinn Hughes on while they were on a penalty kill, Quinn Hughes got high sticked and like down to the ice bleeding and the power play for the Oilers just continued to go on for like I don't know, probably like another 10 15 seconds before it was cuz obviously now it's a 5-on-3. They score a goal and then that is like the beginning of the Oilers comeback. Obviously McDavid is insane and scores a hat trick in that game, but like that they got absolutely jobbed. And then also in the second game, I think it was Nils Hoglander got high sticked by I think it was they were playing the Flyers, weren't they? I think they were playing the Flyers. He got high stick by one of the Flyers players, and as he was falling back and his like arms went up and stick went up, his stick high sticked a guy on the Flyers, and they called him for so like
No, I didn't
that's
see that. I knew
that's
there was some high sticking stuff, but yeah, I didn't see that video specifically. No way.
like it. So in the Oilers game, you have a goal that wouldn't have counted because obviously the play would have been called dead, and also a penalty kill that would have been um like would have been negated because then the other team, the Oilers, would have had a penalty, and not only just a penalty, it would have been a 4 minute because he was bleeding, and then like, uh, and then the same thing happens against the Flyers where it's like you have a 4 minute in penalty swing happen. It's like I don't know. I'm previously a Canucks fan prior to the Jets coming back, so maybe this is my bias coming out, but
No,
uh,
no, I feel it.
really
It's a weird
upsetting.
coincidence. Yeah. No, that's kind of wild. But I was watching that Oilers and Canucks game, and I was so happy because the Canucks kept scoring, and I was like, because I hate Edmonton. I hate them. Those guys
Yeah,
stink, man. They suck.
it's
And then they
it's
kept
really
scoring, and then
easy.
I shut the game off.
It's
I was
really
mad.
easy to hate on the team with like Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl. Like
I
they
hated them before that. I'm not. I'm an original
no,
hater.
I agree. I agree. I also did it prior, but I'm just saying like it is very easy to be like fuck the team with the two of the best players in the world on them and the
Yeah,
team that got all
absolutely.
the first round picks forever and blah 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 and this and that, you know?
Wasted one on Neil Yakupov. Got to bring that up at least once a week.
Fail
Just
for
so we
nail.
can make
Yo,
sure.
and full circle cuz you've heard the whole thing about how like all the scouts in Edmonton wanted to draft Ryan Murray first overall and then the owner was like we have to take Nail Yakupov and so they took Nail Yakupov. Now Ryan Murray is in Edmonton. So it's all come full circle. They finally got their guy. Maybe a bit
As you know,
later.
Ryan Murray, so good.
Hey, listen, I like him. He's good. He played for Everett
Yeah.
in the WHL and I liked them. So
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Fair enough.
So
Oh,
stick
Ryan Murray.
it.
All right, I'll eat that one because Brady likes him, so that means he must be good.
Hell yeah. Um,
But I was just wondering if any of your, early takes on the season that you had, kind of thought would happen have already sort of started proving to be true. Like, I don't know, for example, like that might have been a very unclear question, but like,
I
we talked about Mark
we
Scheifele maybe being good.
So I'm gonna go to my hot takes. I remember in the Western Conference one, I was like Stuart Skinner's gonna become the full time starter by the end of the year, and that one looks like it's on track.
Yep. On track.
Um,
Yeah.
what else? What were my other
And
ones?
I am like I'm a believer that the Ottawa Senators are getting to the point where they're overhyped instead of underhyped because people were saying, "Oh, they might actually like make the playoffs." No, they won't. I'm correct.
Yeah, no,
They
I,
won't.
I I don't think they will. Oh, what else? I'm trying to think of what all my hot takes were. Um,
Yeah, my hot take number
Makar.
one, Ottawa stinks.
I
Yeah.
had Makar winning the Hart, and after watching Connor McDavid again, I go, he's gonna win the Hart again this year.
He's
Fucking
gonna win the Hart
asshole.
again this year. I
Um,
had a hot take. Patrick Laine wins the Rocket Richard. R.I.P. Kane.
Yikes! Oh, I guess hey, that's a good segue. Uh, he scored one goal and then got hurt, and will be out for like what, a month now. I think it said.
I have no idea. Poor guy.
Sucks, man. Uh,
Sucks.
who was the one? Oh, it was Paul Stastny who injured him too, which was really
Was it
ironic.
really? I actually
Yeah.
didn't see that. No.
And it's also really sad because Patrick Laine was doing like for every goal he scores, he's gonna donate $1,000 to help the homeless
Right. The
in
homeless
Columbus.
shelter, yeah.
So that really sucks. Hopefully he gets better soon and starts ripping twine. But
Because
um,
priority number one, Alyssa being right. Priority number two,
the homeless.
helping the greater good.
Yeah, exactly.
You shouldn't say
Um,
stuff like that, but
yeah,
it's
no.
fine.
What
But
else?
yeah, we could get into a couple of like specifics on players. We talked about some like greater team stuff and whatnot. One that I know you were very excited to talk about.
I wouldn't
First
say
NHL player
I wouldn't say
with the
very
letter X.
excited. I just feel like we have to mention it. But
Shout out.
hopefully we all pronounce this correctly. Arbor Jacki,
I
player
think it's like
playing
Hawkeye, yeah, or something like
playing
that, yeah.
for the Canadiens. First player with an X to start his name to play in the NHL. So that's
Les Habitants.
a good
Good
trivia
trivia,
thing.
yeah.
His name is
Oh, isn't he
spelled.
like in their top four too? Would
Yeah,
imagine.
he actually seems like not bad. I don't know. Cool, good for him. I mean, it's kind of tough not to make the top four if you're a D man on on the Canadians, but yeah, his name is spelled Xhekaj, which is, if you look at it on paper, it's a good thing I heard an announcer say his name because I wouldn't know it otherwise. But
Yeah,
anyways,
I feel like there are so many like you just think that like the way an announcer says it is the way that it is, but then you'll hear like a couple
dude,
years later, like also Patrick Lining is his last name not actually like Lane. Remember that one interview where he had when he said it and he's like Lane,
I
and
don't
we're all like
know.
what, and then no
There's
one ever changed.
there's a lot of really funny stories about names being pronounced wrong. Like I remember Andreas Janssen for when he was on the Leafs or on the Marlies, I guess prior to being on the Leafs. Forever they forgot one of the S's in his name, so it turned into Johnson, and he just never corrected them for like the longest time. There was that. It wasn't with the Jets, wasn't it? Is it Joel Armia? Joel Armia?
Yeah, Joel
Yeah,
Armia. We
yeah.
called him Joel for like 3 years.
And then they were like, "Hey, by the way, we got this wrong. It's Joel. He just told us now." So everyone starts saying it right. Pretend like we didn't mess this up. Yeah, I don't
Literally,
know.
yeah. And we
Um.
had Tony Nato last year, mid-season. We're
Oh,
like, oh,
true.
we've been saying Tana Nato, and it's like Tony Nato.
I remember. This is a while ago. Marek Zidlitsky. His name is spelled Zidlicki, and forever I was like, it's Marek Zidlicki, Marek Zidlicki, and then I'd hear every single announcer calling him Zidlitsky. I'm like, there's no T, there's no S. How are they saying this? And then I think his name is actually Zidlitsky, but
Yeah, there are a couple names like that. Like I have a friend whose last name is Nierink or Nearink or something, but it's like there's no actual N at the end of it, and it's like what? They're where or vice versa, there is an N, but you don't pronounce it or something. I'm like, what the heck? But you know,
yeah.
all that good stuff. All that to say,
Anyways,
Harper Jack guy, very
shout
cool.
out.
Shout out, gotta bring it up. Sonny Milano got his contract that we've all been wondering when that was
Finally.
gonna come. Washington Capitals, right?
Yeah, yeah. Just a league min, like 750 for a year, I believe. Congrats to him for finally signing somewhere. I have no idea why he couldn't sign out elsewhere. Maybe there's some personality issues. Who knows?
I don't
We
really believe that because Evander Kane has a full
Yeah,
NHL contract
but
and
also
scores
Evander
many
Kane
goals.
scores a lot of goals, so
Danny Milano scored a lot of goals last year too.
you mean like he had like 50, 60 points, which is like obviously nothing to scoff at, but it's not Evander Kane, I would say. Um,
Yeah,
anyways, but I'm sure he would play a lot better. Milano would play a lot better if he was beside Connor McDavid too.
so
So
would I.
yeah. How many goals do you think you could score playing with Connor McDavid? If just being
No, like genuinely, I think I could score one. I do. I really do
Oh,
think I could score
absolutely.
one.
I definitely I think I could score at least two. I think I could score 2 goals. I believe it. I
Oh,
know how to stand in the right
whoa.
spots. I just need to stand in
I
the right
can
spots.
skate.
I
So no, like genuinely, I think if you know how to skate is always a big factor. If you know how to skate like passably, like
dude,
you
uh,
grew up playing some form of sports, I think you could score a goal if you played in like on a team with Connor McDavid.
I
I do.
I'll sit my ass down backwards on the other side of the net. And he can just shoot it off me in. Like I don't care. Like
Yeah.
it's with Connor
No,
McDavid, he's
my
smart
whole thing
enough.
is just, the concept of offside. By the time he is skating up the ice and has the puck in the zone, will I be able to make it into the zone in time before he scores himself?
Very true.
Oh well. You may
Um,
never know. I may never actually get to play a pro game with Connor McDavid, so we'll
may
see.
or may not. We'll see. Hopefully.
Only time will tell. But
Um,
sorry, I'm just trying to picture what that would even look like, and it would not be pretty.
it would certainly be interesting. I'll take you in fantasy. I'll take you in fantasy hockey. You'll be a good sleeper pick.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I agree. Anyone playing with Connor McDavid, good sleeper pick.
Exactly. Um, all right, let's move on. We got two things on Buffalo to talk about. Is it Matthias Samuelson? I can't remember his name.
Literally, who I don't even.
Uh,
I still don't know.
Samuelson. Let's Google it really quickly. It is Matthias Samuelson. Matthias Samuelson has never scored an NHL goal. Just signed for what was it, 8 years, and like I think 30 mil total. Like something.
Was it
Oh,
actually 8 years? I thought it was like 5.
good thing we're prepared and looked these things up, right, Liz?
Yeah, I
Um,
just say shit and hope for the
I know it
best.
was
So.
30 million total. I remember seeing.
Oh, then
Um,
hopefully it's like up to like 8 mil or something. Otherwise, that'd be insane.
you mean 8 years? No, 7 year, 30
Yeah. Oh my
million.
god,
7 years, 30 million.
that's so
Um,
bad.
I will say, as many other people did, immediately was like, who? Who is
Oh,
this
absolutely.
guy?
I have no idea who that is.
Um,
I still don't.
I was chatting with a couple people, and my buddy Ian Tulloch gave me a lot of shit for not knowing him because he's like, how do you not know about this one obscure random random D man with good underlying metrics? And I'm like, Ian, boy, my boy, I'm sorry. That's a you thing, my guy. So I don't know, but like this is I think this is a trend we'll start to see more in the NHL where it's like this guy, for example, this guy's 22. Um, Again, I obviously there's much more to being a D man than scoring goals. So they're kind of betting on this guy being, someone who can contribute and be like a top blue liner on their team for many years to come. But like what's seven? I don't even know what seven, like 30 mil is divided by seven. Let me do that really quickly.
It's like 4.2,
Yeah, so like
4.3.
that's not a ton of money if he ends up being a
No.
top four D man. Um,
And if he
so
doesn't, you have a defenseman that you can place on waivers and like whatever. Like
yeah,
it's $4 million. Yeah.
they'll be able to figure it out. So I think that this
No,
will
I
be a
don't hate it. It's
I
just
don't.
like who?
Yeah, exactly. I think it, like I said, I think this will be a trend we start to see more where teams start to lock up young guys who they actually see a future in for long term, and then it's kind of like like a Sam Gerard style deal where
Yeah.
they were like, this guy's gonna be really good, so if we sign him for like I think he's making like 4.5 right now for like 6 more
God.
years, then it's like, oh great, we have a top four D man who's like one of the better ones in the league, and
My dream. I
yeah,
love him so
so
much. But no,
he's
like I think that that's, the Jets will be laughing when they sign Brad Lambert to 8 years right off of his first deal for like $7 million a year.
hell
And
yeah.
He
He
wins
sc-
the Hart for 6 consecutive years.
he scored his first goal today in the AHL. It's one of many.
God bless.
He's
God
getting used
bless.
to it, but
But before we move on from the Buffalo Sabres, though,
oh right.
I know we did, and then we did. Got to give a special shout out to my boy JJ Peterka for scoring his first NHL goal. God bless. Emotional support German hockey player, the best German hockey player in the NHL right now.
Yeah,
Good for
yeah,
him.
yeah. You definitely won't get anyone pushing back on that one, on that
No,
claim.
he is. My sources are telling me.
Sources, sources, dude, trust me.
Sources do trust me. The vibes are immaculate.
That's true.
So congrats to JJ Peterka. Adorable. Love him. And Sandheim, Travis Sandheim got a new deal.
Hell yeah. Extended for 8 years, 6.25 times 8 till the end of 2031. It's also insane to me that we're starting to see contracts that go to 2031. That
You
is
said
not.
that, and I just kind of like, what's that SpongeBob meme of him putting his hand on the wall and he's like exhaling. He's like, like that. That was me. I was like, whoa, we're able to sign contracts that long? Oh my god,
It's wild.
2031.
It's wild. But yeah, so I mean, here's the thing. I don't know what I mean. Like, don't get me wrong. 6.25, good money. Good for him. I think that's a good deal for the Flyers. Like, Sandheim is a very good defenseman. One of the few good deals I would say that what's his name, Chuck Fletcher has signed.
Yeah, no kidding.
But also it's like I don't see why when he was going to be a UFA at the end of this year, why he didn't go to free agency. Like, don't get me wrong, I get that,
More from a him perspective, yeah.
like I don't get it. I just don't see. I mean, like I guess this year there was a bit of a cap crunch and everything like that. So maybe his agent's coming to him saying I don't think the money's gonna be there like it was for the Seth Jones free agency years where everyone was getting 9 mil for being a defenseman. But I don't know. I could have seen him at least one getting a better either getting a similar deal, a better deal, but also a better team to play for because I don't know about you. I wouldn't want to play for the Flyers, but
I could score one goal with Connor McDavid. I could not score one goal on the
no,
Philadelphia Flyers.
absolutely
That
not.
much I could
And
tell
you
you
would
for
get
free.
yelled at all the time by Torts. Um,
Yeah, I could
but
take him, but I'm not worried.
but yeah, I just I don't get it. But hey, if your stuff is somewhere, it's not always fun to move. Maybe he just went, I like it here. I'll stay
Yeah.
here. Got the money, so good for him. Congrats, Mr. Sandheim. He's from
That's
Manitoba
nice.
too, so hey, shout out. Good for him.
Yeah.
Good for
Excellent,
him
yeah.
for being from Manitoba.
Some of us aren't quite so lucky to be,
Unfortunately, yeah,
guaranteed millions of dollars for the next 8 years until 2031. So
yeah,
who knows where I'll be at that point. So,
yeah, exactly. Um,
first player in the league to go on LTIR this year has already happened. A couple days
from
into
the
the
season, not like an
Oh yeah,
actual
from
play,
the
and
season,
from
like
an
an injury
actual
that
player.
occurred this season. Yes.
Mr.
Oh
Matt
boy.
Murray. Man, it's been a tough week to be a Toronto fan. Like, having one, first off, you blow a lead to the Habs. One of your starting goalies, Matt Murray, goes on to LTIR with like an what was it, an abdicator
I
or
don't
something
know
injury,
what is
which
wrong with him.
I
I
saw a
really
thing
don't
that was
know.
saying that like that was the injury that Dominic Hasek had and was out for like an entire season. So hopefully
Yeesh.
Matt Murray's gonna be okay. But also like even non-hockey wise, the Blue Jays, man,
Oh,
we forgot to touch on it last show, but like, man, what a rough week to be a Toronto sports fan. To have to watch the Blue Jays go from winning 8-1 to losing 9-8 in the wild card game against who was it against? The Mariners.
Seattle?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Seattle. It was funny. I was going to the Bomber game with my dad, and we were at his place. Before the game, we were watching the Blue Jays, and it was 8-1. It was 8-1, and he goes, "We don't need to watch the end of it. Great, we'll go to the game now." We show up at the game. It's like 8-4, 8-6, or something like that. I can't remember exactly. And so we prop up the phone while we're sitting at the Bomber game watching as the Blue Jays just absolutely collapse.
It was so bad. It was so bad. Like, and then when like George Springer gets hurt in the
Oh,
outfield, and
that
like just
was
like it was just so bad across the
painful.
board.
Painful.
Yeah, I'm not a
Um,
big baseball guy. I find baseball really dry to watch. Like,
Only playoffs for
I
me personally, but
oh
like
honestly, playoff baseball is a lot of fun. Like, I think it's cool. I can't get into it. It's like hockey to me, like even if I didn't really like the sport, watching 82 games in a season is like, oh my God, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Whereas like baseball, how many do they play? Like
Like 160 or
140 or
something. I
something?
think it's like
Yeah, like oh my
163 or something
God.
like that.
Like that's insane. So I could never sit through a whole season of that. Like they're long games and they sometimes play like twice a day or like 5 games in 6 days or something like that. And you're like, oh my God. Anyways,
It's wild.
but yeah, that game was awful. I don't often feel bad for people from Toronto, but in that instance, I did.
That
However,
one,
I did not feel bad for them when they lost to the Montreal Canadiens because
yeah, that's
that
kind of
was
funny.
funny.
It was funny.
It
I
was
agree.
because the Habs stink. They're so bad.
It's also just so Leafs to lose to the
It
Habs
is so
in
Leafs.
your season opener.
It's the thing where
In
it's not like it's like, like a rivalry, this, that, whatever. Like they are so much better than them at literally everything. There is not one thing that Montreal has that is better than Toronto's equivalent. Nothing.
no,
Like their hockey team is terrible.
yeah,
Maybe hot coach. That's all. I'm never gonna
yeah.
stop
Oh
talking
yes,
about
yeah,
this.
yeah. Sorry, I always forget.
Why did you even have to think
I was
about
like,
that? Oh my
sorry, my
God.
my brain went to like Dom Ducharme for a second, and then I
Oh,
was like, oh wait, no,
no.
Marty St. Louis. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
yeah. Anyways,
But yeah,
sorry, Toronto. Sucks to suck.
I'm sure they'll recover. But I and going back to like what I was saying about how I love looking at like the standings of the year when it's early. I also love looking at the stats. I took a quick peek at like Money Puck and TSN right before this, and I was like, I guess the goal leaders of the year so far: noted goal scorers Steven Stamkos, Connor McDavid, and Nino Niederreiter.
Hell yeah, attaboy Nino. On the topic of fun stats, Money Puck released a tweet today being like the worst goalies of the season so far, and it was Marc-Andre Fleury was like a minus like 4.5 goals expected or goals.
And
Oh,
wasn't Pavel Francois like very bottom of the list too?
I have no idea. I have no idea,
So bad.
but that was a lot of
Mark
fun.
Hunter was down there. Yeah, Connor
Yeah, he.
Hellebuck already in the top of goals saved above expected, like
Oh,
top like 5, and he's played 1 game. God bless.
he's so good. He's so good. That was
He's so good.
40 saves, I think. 41 saves, shots against, 40
Something like
saves,
that.
win.
Yeah, that was a juiced game though. Like New York had so many chances and they just could not score
Yeah, there weren't a ton of like high danger chances, but like it was fun.
enough to where they should have scored 2.5 more goals. So.
Yeah,
I'm still
absolutely.
like I get peeved every time I see people make their goalie tier lists where they have like Vasilevsky and Shesterkin like in a tier above Connor Hellebuyck. So I'm like, man, guys, like I still feel like he's got it. Like
I
I feel
get
like
it.
his team has just been so ass.
I
And he just he can't.
understand, but
I get it. I understand, but I disagree.
the
I do.
disrespect, the
The
absolute
disrespect is real.
disrespect.
I do think that UC Saros is gonna jump up above him soon. I think he's very good,
Oh,
but I think right now.
I love Saros.
I
He's
love UC Saros. I think he's super good.
I wish he wasn't on the Predators because the Predators stink. He deserves better scores than like Matt Duchene, and I guess
Hey,
Phil.
Nino Niederreiter is the top scorer in the NHL right now, so put some respect on his name.
Hey, my bad. I apologize.
Yeah,
And
thank you
Phil
for
Phil
taking
Forsberg's
ownership
pretty
of
good
that.
too, but
Yeah.
yeah.
He's not the leading scorer in the NHL right now, so I can't. He actually the list
Is
might
it
be up there in, like,
sustainable?
points or something, but about as sustainable as the Philadelphia Flyers undefeated record so far. So,
Oh hell yeah.
but yeah, I honestly like as far as like for the first couple days of the NHL, happening, I found that it was like relatively uneventful. I don't know.
Yeah, there weren't a ton of storylines. I guess we can add an addendum to what we spoke about last week with the shitty stuff.
Yeah,
Which
'cause, again,
shout
that's
out
Tuesday
NHL
games.
for releasing in the middle of Saturday night hockey while the Leafs and Habs are playing. Man, the amount of times when like the NHL just tries to bury a statement in the middle of like don't get me wrong, whenever it
The
is.
Logan Mailloux thing, there was what was that right in the middle of it? It was like the very first
I
World
can't
Junior
remember.
game, and I think it was the very first World Junior game. They just like slipped the statement in there, like in the middle of a bunch of other like hockey related stuff. I'm like,
Yeah,
shut up! Like, take some ownership, so take some accountability. Like, obviously, you're ashamed of what you've done.
yeah,
So, like, ugh.
yeah,
But
absolutely.
yeah, like the Ian Cole thing. Listen, like they
But
come out, they say,
sorry, just before I guess we should once again issue a censorship warning, a trigger warning, just
yeah,
in case we do delve into any of mention anything for sexual assault and grooming. So, anyways,
yeah.
continue. I just wanted
No,
to add
for
that
sure.
in.
And no, totally. The topic in general, even if you don't get into the specifics, can obviously be pretty
Yeah,
triggering if you have, personal experiences or loved ones with personal experiences as well. It's a super uncomfortable topic, so appreciate the inclusion of that there. Um, yeah, like we'll talk about it briefly. The NHL said,
I have the
we
statement here
finished
if you'd like
the
me to.
investigation. Yeah, no, it's all good. Like, I
I
just have two kind of points on it. Like, specifically, number one, um, I don't like that there is a timestamped tweet from 24 hours earlier of them saying, please DM us to the Twitter account, because if that was included in the investigation anyway, 24
Yep.
hours is not nearly long enough to include that or have any kind
Yep.
of conclusive evidence. And my second thing is, why is the NHL doing this? Should this not be a criminal investigation? I don't understand what that's all about.
Like, okay, I understand why the NHL is doing it, but it should be alongside a criminal investigation.
Right,
Absolutely.
exactly.
My issue, I'm glad you brought up the DM us thing, because like again, I don't need to read the statement, but the one of the things that is listed here was, in addition, despite attempts by the league to make contact with the anonymous source of the social media posts, those efforts were unsuccessful. This investigation took 6 days. 6 days. Only 6 days. And they did not get the opportunity to contact the victim. Don't get me wrong. I understand if if say a couple weeks goes by and they're like, we have tried our best, we cannot get in touch with the victim, but over 6 days, and like you said, it a day before, they're like,
Yeah, it
hey,
was like
please
24 hours, like
please
at
DM us.
most.
What a like, there's no reason for them to send this out now and be like, we're done, it's over.
No,
Hey,
it's like,
we
and even if that was their last resort, it's like that's still literally 24 hours. That's not even like a full working day. This was over the weekend that you were like, oh yeah,
and
guess we're out of luck. Like, I'm not saying he did it, right? But that's like the whole point of the investigation is that I don't think it was probably done very well if those are the time constraints that you have surrounding it.
and yeah, and then the other thing I want to mention too, the NHLPA came out with a
Oh,
statement.
yeah.
I need to bring that one up. They basically just said like, we're glad to see that this was resolved. I gotta bring it up here. I'm sorry.
It's a
It
bad statement.
it's brutal. Okay. Here it is. The union representing. Sorry, here it is. We are pleased that the situation with Ian Cole is now resolved and that the NHL has closed the matter. However, players should never be subjected to suspension or discipline in response to Jesus, I can't talk. I'm sorry. Unsubstantiated and anonymous accusations. Removing a player from his team under these circumstances is inappropriate and grossly unfair. We are engaging the league in discussions on how to address similar situations in the future. Here's the thing. I understand that the NHLPA is supposed to look after its players, supposed to ensure that their players make money, supposed to ensure that, things that are unjust should not happen to their players. That's their role. I understand if they want to, behind the scenes, have discussions of how to, properly deal with these situations with the NHL, however they want to say. But putting a statement out to try and like get people behind you to be like, yeah, the NHL shouldn't have suspended him. And that's what you saw from bigots online. Like, under this PA, they're like, this PA announcement, there was people being like, absolutely, are you surprised that an anonymous Twitter account, it was Jesus, I can't talk.
Unsubstantiated.
Thank
I'll
you.
say it for you.
Thank you. But like, I don't get it. I don't understand why this needed to be a statement. I don't understand why the PA had to try and rub people's noses who are being like, we should respect people and their stories, and respect victims. Like, I just don't understand.
No, my 2 cents on that for sure is, yeah, that several people saw that statement and were like, "Yep, this looks like a great thing to put out on
This
the
is
internet."
a
Like,
win for
this
our
is a
side.
win.
Like,
Ugh, the
fuck
worst.
off.
And also, I'm so sick of people being like, "Oh yeah, what did you expect from an anonymous Twitter account?" Did you read the goddamn statement? The whole point was that it was an anonymous Twitter account just created to put this out there because the individual was not comfortable yet being associated with
Because
it to
if you
relive their trauma. Oh my god,
because
obviously.
look at the fucking comments under it. Like, why do you think that people have to make anonymous accounts to relive their stories and share their stories? It's because dipshits underneath that are coming in and are just gonna question and go, oh, I don't know, I don't believe you. Oh, what? I don't know if that's actually true. Like, mm,
I'm so sick of
infuriating.
people being shitty, and that's the whole thing is we're not gonna sit here and, do further speculation on the allegations, right? Because, we don't know the situation, but what we do know is the public details released about the investigation, and I don't think that they're acceptable given the nature of the situation. I just don't.
Absolutely not. Nope. Brutal. Brutal all
It's,
around.
yep, just bad, straight up bad. And, the internet's a place full of people, and, if you see that and that's how, they're talking about someone who, has been said they're not guilty or whatever the whole thing is, and how well was that information kind of like gathered and stuff like that. Like, it's hard, that can be really troubling. So
Yep.
our hearts are going out to anyone who's, feeling personally affected by these kinds of things continually being spoken about on a platform where you're hoping to just get information about the sport you love. It sucks, it's hard, it's good that we're having these conversations, but it sucks that people are shitty, and I don't know what else to say.
Yep. It sucks.
And
Anyways, we
kind
can,
of
yeah.
we can move on from that, but we should also probably mention Hockey Canada too. There's some other
Oh,
stuff
right.
that came up
Right,
this week,
right.
just super briefly. When we spoke last week, Andrea Skinner had stepped down. We knew that, but now it has come to our attention too that Scott Smith, CEO of Hockey Canada, has stepped down, as well as the entirety of the volunteer board of directors. I don't know again what much to say on that. Good,
Good.
bye.
Good
Let's
first step.
change and stuff. Yeah,
That's the first step in change. But it shouldn't stop there. Uh, yeah,
I
I
do have like small amounts of you know empathy for people who are, who got involved in this, not knowing some of the stuff that, happened in previous years and things like that. But a lot of these people, doubled down or weren't honest and all these kinds of things. So get out of there, get yourself, figured out and whatnot. And I think people just need to not associate with that organization anymore until we fix some things up, because it's not good.
yep, absolutely. I agree wholeheartedly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Just another
shitty week
yeah,
for some stuff, but hopefully as games get going and everything, hopefully we actually have some more fun things to look after.
absolutely.
In the spirit of having more fun, again we have another game for this week to rescue the vibes. I will be administering the game this week.
Oh, because
um
that went so well for me last time.
okay, so this one I will admit I have to give credit. This is a bit of a steal from Puck Soup. Love Puck Soup, but they had a game called Best of Seven, and I have my own version of it here. I didn't originally want to do it like this. I had picked out some wacky categories to try and get lists to try and figure out, but I think that this format will work the best. So the way it'll work, there's going to be 7 rounds, and it will be a best of 7. And then in each of those rounds, I'm going to give lists a category. So let's just say
So I need an example here because I'm
an example would be like players on the Jets, and then Liz has 7 chances to name 4 players, get 4 wins. Uh, has 7 chances to guess those. If she is unable to get 4 out of 7 right, then she loses. If she gets them, then she gets a point. Obviously, there'll be more in depth and less obvious ones than that. But for example,
players who scored 50 goals in 2007.
that's almost one of the ones I have. Danny Heatley.
Danny Healy.
Hell yeah. But yeah, so I think as we go through it, it'll all make sense. So my first category we're gonna start with players who have won the Lady Bing. So
Okay.
you're gonna go through. You're gonna give me a name. I'll say if it's correct or incorrect.
Okay. Okay. So I'm gonna start with Kyle Connor.
Correct. So that's 1-1 nothing.
Okay. Lady Bing.
Yeah.
That is the most gentlemanly player, correct?
Correct. That is correct. Yeah.
Okay, and what's the award for like the nicest guy? There's like a different one, right? The Masterson.
No,
That's
the
the one I'm
Masterton's
thinking.
like who comes back from adversity.
Oh,
Like
okay.
so
And
that's
like,
a different
what
one.
did Jacob Slavin win?
I don't know. What did Jacob Slavin win?
Okay, I'll put him as a guess. Is he one?
Yes. Okay. That's
Okay.
two. Yeah. No open-ended questions. You just got to give me an
Sorry,
answer.
sorry,
You
sorry.
just got to give me an answer.
Okay.
And because we have a bunch of rounds for this, we can zoom through. Just try and guess a player who you think might have
Austin
won it.
Matthews?
He has not won it, so that is 2 to
No.
1.
Jared Spurgeon?
Jared Spurgeon has not won it. That's 2-2.
Oh boy. Okay. I gotta think. There was someone who won it so many times, I thought. I'm trying to remember who it is. Oh my gosh.
Just and hey, this goes all the way back to 1925. So if you
Oh,
if
good
you, if you think that
gracious.
there's any gentlemanly players from, even that aren't current,
Oh yeah,
you can
me
go.
with all of my knowledge
I'm
about the
just saying, if
60s
if I'm
NHL.
just
No,
saying, if
no.
you're gonna start giving me guesses, it could be
No, definitely,
whoever.
definitely.
Let's go.
Oh, Pavel Datsyuk is the guy who used to win it all the time, right?
Pavel Datsyuk is correct. So it's 3-2.
Okay. Okay.
One more. You just need one more.
Okay, and they often do it with like low penalty minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Sasha
Often.
Barkov?
Sasha Barkov. That's a winner. Okay, 1-0 for Liz.
Let's
Alrighty.
go.
All right. Okay, this one I also have to give a shout out to my dad because we conceived of this category together on the weekend. Players who do not wear visors currently.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Okay, Ryan O'Reilly,
Correct. 1.
Zach Bogosian.
Zach Bogosian is correct.
Okay, now I'm now
you just gotta start guessing at some point,
my cards. Okay.
So
Ryan
two
Getzlaf
nothing.
Retired, right? So he doesn't count.
Getzlaf has retired, doesn't count.
Okay. I'm gonna think because it's only older players typically. Is Mike Green.
Is Mike Green still playing? I don't know. Is that I'm giving that counts as a guess, and that's a no. So 2-1.
Dang. Okay. I'm literally Jamie Benn. No.
Jamie Benn's correct. 3-1.
Yes. And it gotta be some Mark Stewart.
Mark Stewart.
No, I need to come up with somebody. I can't.
Just
Where's
think.
some old defensemen? I hate old defensemen.
Do they have to
Brent
be
Burns? No, he wears one. Brent Burns? I'll just give it his guess.
Incorrect. 2-2.
Incorrect.
Or
Joe Thornton
3-2?
retired.
I don't know. Wait, hold on.
3-2. I think I have 3 wrong.
No.
Let's go with like
You got sorry. You had O'Reilly, you had Bogosian, and you had Jamie Benn. So that's 3, right? It's 3-2. It's 3-2. My bad. Sorry.
Okay, Radko Gudas. That's a guess.
Incorrect. 3-3. It all comes down to this. One last one.
Who's like a defenseman that I would just despise because I feel like it's got.
It doesn't need to be a defenseman. I'm just letting you know.
No, I know, but I just feel like there's so many that don't. Like, or who's like a. Who's? Let's go with like Devin Shore or something like that.
Incorrect. I don't know. I'll check really quickly,
but
he wasn't on the list that I found. So
there are no Winnipeg Jets that don't wear visors, correct?
That's correct. Yeah, none of them don't wear jet. So okay, this is the list I have here. So Jamie Benn, Jordy Benn, which would have been a really fun one. He technically is still in the league because he's with the Leafs. Brian Boyle is gone. Zdeno Chara's gone.
Zdeno Chara, I knew.
Zach Kassian.
Oh, of course. Fuck that guy.
This is the one I expected you to get. Milan Lucic. Matt Martin. Is he still in the league? I don't know. I think he is.
See, that's who I feel like I was like. Those are the kinds of guys I was trying to think
of. Here we go. Ryan Reeves. I was surprised you didn't get that one.
Oh yeah.
And then like Andrew Shaw's gone. Zach Smith still plays, I think.
I don't know who that is.
Joe Thornton's gone. Anyways.
Joe Thornton I knew was also gone. Man.
He's also gone. 1-1. Okay. All right, Liz. Can you name me 4 players who played on the Team Europe roster from the World Cup of Hockey in 2016?
Oh God. Okay, I'm just gonna start. Okay, wait. So there was Team North America, Team Canada, Team US, Team Europe.
Yeah, it was Team Europe and Team North America were the 2 Mickey Mouse made up teams.
Okay. Wait. So Team Europe.
So
what was the criteria for that? It was like not Finland, Sweden.
Not Finland, not Sweden. I think that was it. I think those were
Russia?
No, and Czech. Sorry, and Czechia were the 3. Okay. And Russia obviously was its own thing too. So
Okay, so just not those 4 countries?
yeah, and also Russia is in Asia, so it's not a
No, it's
European.
not.
Yeah, it is. Right. Yeah,
It's a
it is.
Eurasian country. There are 5 Eurasian countries.
Okay. Anyway, not the point.
Azerbaijan,
Not the
Russia.
point. Not the point. Not the point. Okay. Name me players who were on this roster, on the Team Europe
Okay.
roster.
Let's go Anze Kopitar,
Correct. 1-0.
Leon Draisaitl,
Correct. 2-0.
Zdeno Chara.
Correct. 3-0.
Okay,
Can
okay,
she get the
okay,
sweep?
okay.
Can she get the sweep?
David Krejci.
David Krejci is incorrect. I do not have him on my list.
Darn. Okay, okay. Nikolai Ehlers.
Incorrect.
Oh.
Was it 3-2 now?
Oh,
Oh, reverse
no.
sweep.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
no.
I was doing so well, though. Oh, no. I'm trying to think of like other countries and like players. It was like,
I like how you immediately went to like. Actually, never mind. No, I'm never mind. That would give it away. I'll shut the fuck up.
Europe.
Sorry.
2016 Team Europe. Oh my god. This is so hard for no reason.
Just guess. Just get some
I
players from that.
I can't.
You can't even think of any European players.
No, I can't because they're all from Finland. This is so hard. It's like, what about all of those guys from like France, like Patrick Belmar or whatever, or Pierre-Edouard Belmar or whatever his name is.
Correct.
Let's
There you are.
go.
So here,
He's from France, right?
Yeah, he is from France. I'll quickly go through. So Belmar, Mikhail Bodker.
Never would have had that.
I would have immediately. Leon Draisaitl,
Okay.
Marian Gaborik,
Oh,
Yannick Hansen,
Nope.
Marian Hossa, Anze
Should've had
Kopitar,
that.
Nino Niederreiter, who I thought you
Yeah,
might
my
get,
boy.
Franz
After all he's been
Nielsen,
here today.
Tobias Reeder, Thomas Tatar, Thomas Vanek, Matt Zuccarello, and then
Okay.
on D,
I
Chara,
get it. I'm a
Christian
dumbass.
Eroff. This is one that you should have gotten. Roman Yossi.
Oh yeah, Swiss King.
Another one you should have got. Luca Spiza.
Lucas Pisa. I was gonna say him, but I thought he was too shitty.
Nope. I'm Europe, baby. Dennis Seidenberg, Andre Sakara, Mark Straight, and then the goalies were Halak, Grubauer, and Grice.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Interesting. Well, I got it.
So what is that? It's 2-1, I think now.
Yeah.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's see. Which one do we want to go with next?
The easiest one.
All right. Well, we'll see if this one's easy. I don't think this one. I think this one might be a little tougher. I'll be honest.
Then why are you doing it?
Because it's the next one on my
whatever.
list. Players who were drafted first overall who have scored 50 goals in a season.
This is an awful game.
Come on,
Austin Matthews.
Okay, there's one. You just got to get 4.
Connor McDavid.
Incorrect. 1-1. He's
never scored 50 goals.
Not yet.
Interesting. He scored like 120 points every season, but
yeah.
Okay. Oh my god. I don't even know. It was Jaromir Jagr a first overall pick?
I don't know. Was he? You have to tell me if that's your guess or not.
Jaromir Jagr. Yes. I'll go with him.
Incorrect. He was not. He was like, I think he was like, I don't know, 5th or something.
No,
I
kind of want to like go back because I can't think of any recent ones who would have scored. Like Stamkos wasn't a first overall. Maybe he was. Your face doesn't give me anything. Okay, Steven Stamkos.
Correct.
Okay, good.
Okay, so you have Matthews so far. You have Stamkos, and you didn't get
That's it.
Yager
Mm-hmm.
and McDavid, so it's 2-2.
Yeah. Okay. I think of players who have scored that many goals, and I can't. Are there like a lot of recent ones or not really? Probably not.
I'm not gonna say anything, but there are some here that you should get, and
Okay, but I don't know anything. Okay, like Pavel Datsyuk,
incorrect.
Sidney Crosby.
Correct. 3-3.
Okay.
Oh my God, Liz.
Okay, but Alex Ovechkin?
Alex Ovechkin.
Hey, I thought he was the same draft year as Sidney Crosby. I didn't
No.
know.
No. I was sitting
forgot.
here like, oh my god, if she doesn't say Ovi, I'm gonna lose my shit.
Okay, go on.
That's funny. The ones I have on my list: so Ovi, Crosby, Stamkos, Matthews, Ilya Kovalchuk,
Oh yeah. Okay.
Vincent Lecavalier, Mario Lemieux, Mike Modano, Pierre Turgeon, Dale Hawerchuk.
Okay, I didn't know if he was a first overall draft pick or not.
You what?
That's what.
Brutal. Fake fan. And Guy
No, I
Lafleur
know.
were the ones I had written down here. I'm sure there's others, but
But I wouldn't have gotten others.
not. I was hoping you would guess Wayne Gretzky because Wayne Gretzky technically it was never drafted, so that's
Right. He's
that-
a WHA guy or whatever, right?
yeah, exactly. So okay, 3-1 so far. Only one more needed.
Okay, I'm about to enter my Toronto Maple Leafs era. Let's go.
Okay, I have here a list of players who have signed offer sheets.
Oh God. No, I don't know anyone.
Come on, there's like at least two.
Okay.
At least two that are recent and obvious. 3, I would say, that are obvious.
3 recent offer sheets?
Okay,
Not
sorry.
in my
Two.
house.
Two.
Okay.
Anyways, I'll shut the fuck up.
Okay,
But there's
Ryan O'Reilly.
correct 1-0.
Jesperi Kotkaniemi.
Correct 2-0.
Okay, that's all I know. Okay. Let me think about this.
You only get a certain amount of time, so you gotta
I know.
pick up the pace here.
This is so hard. I don't know anything. Ugh. Oh my God.
Just name a player. Just name a player.
Name a player. I can't. There's a guy in the Oilers.
Dun, 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 dun.
Oh my God.
Come on, name a player right now. Just you're losing time. We got to keep this train rolling. I got
Okay,
other categories.
I know this is terrible podcast context. I don't know. Max Domi. I know he didn't.
No, incorrect.
Not incorrect. Okay. I gotta think. Oh my god.
This is brutal.
This is so bad.
There's
Derek Ryan.
incorrect.
I don't know anything. Is there anyone like recent that I can think of? Like,
Do you want to?
yes, a hint.
No,
What were you
I
gonna
wasn't
say?
gonna say a hint. I was gonna say you can punt on this one and I can
What does that mean?
like say you don't know and we can move on to another one because I have other ones if
Okay.
you wanna
Okay. Well,
you want-
we can come back another time.
do you
Yeah.
there's one that you should have that is related to another one of the offer sheets that you named.
Did I want the Ryan O'Reilly one?
No, it's
No, but Sebastian Aho didn't sign an offer sheet.
yes he did. Yes, he signed an offer
he
sheet.
didn't?
Yeah, he just got matched. Yeah, that was the
Oh!
whole bit was that he signed the
Oh.
offer sheet and then it got and then Carolina was like, "LOL, thanks. We would love to have him for $8.5 million."
Oh.
Anyways, okay, we're moving on.
Okay.
You don't win that one. I don't
I
care.
got 3.
We're,
I got 3.
no, we're moving on. Okay, I have a list here of players who from the 2016 Nightmare Draft free agents or not draft, sorry. From the 2016 free agency Nightmare class. The class that had a bunch of really bad contracts signed from it.
Oh God.
I want you to name 4 players who signed that year and their contract, their total value on their contract, so years times whatever, has to
Are
be
you kidding me?
no, just has to be above $5 million. Like meaning
Oh,
like
it can't be like some guy who signed a league man.
exactly. So like or an ELC. Like for example, I'm not gonna you're just because this one I don't think you're gonna guess. I don't think you're gonna guess Joe Colburn. But he signed
No.
for 2 years times 2.5, so $5 million total. It has to be at least $5 million total value. So,
Okay.
can you name 4 players from that draft class? And like I said, just guess players you think signed in free agency around that time.
I have a really weird one I want to start with. Is that when Kyle Okposo signed his weird contract?
That is correct.
Nice.
That is
nice.
Captain
Okay.
Captain Kyle Okposo, if you didn't
That's
know.
Captain Kyle Okposo to you. Yeah.
Yeah, I learned that this week, and I was like, oh, damn, that's crazy. Anyways, so Kyle Okposo, 1-0.
Andrew Ladd.
2-0. Come on.
Blake Wheeler?
Incorrect.
Oh, he
2-1.
didn't sign that year. Darn. Okay. Um, I just want to start guessing players. Okay, who are some like guys who have bad contracts? Like Louis Erickson.
Correct. 3
No.
3-1.
Are you
Louis,
kidding?
Louis
What was the
Erickson.
contract he signed?
6 years, 36 million, so 6 by 6.
That's bad. That's
That
a
is
bad
bad.
deal.
With who? Who was it with? Oh my God!
Vancouver.
Come on.
Vancouver
Yes,
Canucks. Vancouver
correct,
Canucks. Okay.
correct. And
It's Jim Benning.
who did Ladd sign with? Actually, this is a part of it. You have to name who they signed with.
Andrew Ladd signed that deal with the Jets. Oh, he didn't. Oh my. He signed it with the New York Islanders.
Correct.
No. Okay.
Yes,
I
yeah.
was gonna say Arizona Coyotes. Oh
No,
my god.
no, he got
Who was
moved.
the first one I got? Steven Stamkos?
No, you got Kyle Okposo. He did sign that one, but
Steven Stamkos.
that one doesn't count because it was before free agency. That was he
Steven
re-signed.
Stamkos did?
Yeah, he
Darn.
re-signed. I think it was before.
Alec Poster signed with Buffalo. Or
Yeah, I knew you knew that.
he was with the Islanders before that, right?
Yeah, correct. He
Okay.
was.
Gotta think. Oh man, who are some players who were like good around that time? Like that one, like Jamie Benn. That's no, he's too recent. Jamie Benn. I'll go with it.
That is incorrect. So that is 3-2 now, I believe.
3-2. Okay, so these were bad deals across the board.
Well,
right?
it doesn't not necessarily, but I'm just this was the nightmare class when like a bunch of guys signed, like when the Louis Ericksons, the Andrew Ladds, the Kyle Okposos
Okay.
signed long-term deals, and they all did not pan out whatsoever.
I feel like there are some goalies. I want to say James Reimer.
That is correct. That's insane that that's the one you went for.
I don't. James Reimer is like a I don't know because he was what was he with Philly and he was with
Who did he sign with?
I couldn't.
Who did he sign with? Come on, Liz.
Detroit,
Incorrect.
Carolina.
No.
Do I get this wrong because I didn't guess where he signed?
Maybe.
No, no, we're not doing this. I call game. I'm done.
Okay, so it was with Florida. That was when he went and was backing up Roberto Luongo.
Yes.
The big one that you missed was Milan Lucic. Again, twice in this game you've missed him. 7 years.
Try and, like block him out of my mind.
At age 28, he signed for 7 years in Edmonton. Of course, we have
What an awful deal.
Okposo, Ladd, Eriksson, Franz Nielsen signed for 6 years while he was already 32 years old.
He was still in the league at that time?
Yep, and he signed
Oh
with
my God.
Detroit. David Backes signed with Boston for 5 years. Troy Brouwer signed with Calgary for 4. James Reimer for 5 years. What was that?
My phone, sorry.
Nice. Mikhail Bodker, Eric Stahl, Jamie McGinn, Matt Martin, Dale Weiss, David Schlemko, Ben Lovejoy, David Perron, Dan Hamhuis, Lee Stempniak, Joe Colbert.
Dan Hamhuis, my boy. Okay.
So you win. That was that. I had the other one that I had here was the one that I struggled with really quickly because I realized before the end of our thing that I did not have all of my lists. What was it?
What was it?
Players who have been bought out.
Oh, I would have been so bad at that. Kevin Shattenkirk, Ryan McDonough. That's all I got.
Was Ryan McDonough?
Rick DiPietro.
Rick DiPietro, that's a good one. Yeah, and then going back to the offer sheets one. Again, Sebastian Aho you missed insanely, which is hilarious.
I got confused. I'm so bad with offer sheets. No, I didn't miss it. Like, see, you didn't actually tell me that. I got it. I just thought he didn't sign it.
No, he did. He did sign it. So you didn't guess it. It was the thing.
I thought when you said like sign an offer sheet, it means like they sign it and it goes through and they go to the other team.
No,
Okay.
I never said that. And
see, because I don't understand how offer sheets work.
Nope, that's wrong. For that list, it was Sebastian Aho, Jesperi Kotkaniemi, Ryan O'Reilly, Shea Weber has the iconic offer sheet from Philly that got matched for like $14 million. Nick Hjalmarsson, Steve Bernier, David Backes, Dustin Penner is the one you're thinking of in Edmonton. Thomas Vanek, Ryan Kessler, Sergei Fedorov, Matthias Olin,
Ryan
and then
Kessler. I should have had that too. Yeah.
Joe Sakic, Keith Tkachuk. These are just, I'm not going to go through every single one of them, but these are just like notable ones. Scott Stevens.
I never would have known anything from before the year of like 2014.
Marty McSorley, Craig Simpson,
I've heard that before,
Teemu
actually.
Selanne, Adam
King.
Graves, Brendan Shanahan, blah blah blah. Scott
Oh yeah.
Stevens again. He signed a one.
Who did?
Um, Scott Stevens.
Who is that?
Oh, you're gonna get in trouble for saying that.
Yeah.
Scott Stevens played for the Devils for the longest time. He played for the Blues prior to that. He was a part of the deal that like Shanahan and Scott Stevens got swapped for each other because of offer sheets, and
Literally don't ask me anything about what happened in hockey before the year 2008. I not a clue.
yeah, that's fair.
No idea.
He also threw insanely huge open ice hits, and that's what he's most known for. Anyways, well, that's the game. You somehow won. Let us know in the comments if you guys were able to get that. One other thing we're gonna ask for, if you could, if you've gotten this far, please go ahead and leave us a rating actually on our podcasting apps.
Yeah, please.
It would help us out a lot. Follow us on Twitter at Can't Teach Size. Liss's Twitter handle is at LissHood. Hood. Sorry.
We got into this.
We got into this the other day. Had it anyways, and then I'm NHL Chunky. Yeah, that was Can't Teach Size. I don't know. Do you have anything else you want to say before we sign off here, Liz?
No, I think I'm good. On my end, like appreciate always jumping on, having some fun, and
Hell yeah.
yeah, we'll see you guys next week.
Awesome. Have yourselves a good one. Thank you again.
Thanks.